Hi guys. We have some bad news. We lost Nana a couple of days ago. I know we haven't I haven't made any videos in a long time because I haven't been in Edinburgh, and Nana wasn't doing so well. I think in May I updated people saying that she was sort of going downhill, and she she went to sleep on Friday in her favorite chair actually, and she just didn't wake up. Um, So it's been a rough couple of days, for the family, and just sort of processing everything that's going on. So I just want to talk a little bit about Nana, and about her legacy and what she meant to all of us, right? And you can see that in the video. She was such a special person. She brought a lot of life and a lot of energy to wherever she was. Let me start at the beginning. My first memories of Nana were when I was a young kid, maybe in '76, just before I left Scotland for Canada. Um, and so I lived with her for a little while. My parents had split up, and I remember I was staying with Nana, and from what they tell me, this is my memories, right? So I actually could be wrong, but I think I remember staying there, and before I left for Canada, um, and then seeing her again in the late '70s. She came over with my granddad in '79, and then I went back to Scotland for the first time in '81. So my memories were sort of like what I remember. Actually, my first memories are, I was a little kid, and this is my grandmother taking care of me, right? But then later on, sort of when I was a little bit older, I associated Nana with soup. My favorite food is soup, and she made the best soup I've ever had in my entire life, right? Scottish broth, Scotch broth, fantastic soup, right? And I remember I get so excited when she was going to come over to Canada that I would say to my mom, we need some soup, right? Nana's going to make some soup, which she did. And in fact, even up until about, I don't know, 5 years ago, 4 years ago, she would still make me soup when I go to Scotland to visit her. I lived with her in 2019. I worked at Heriot Watt University in Edinburgh I did a course with them, for them in the summer of 2019, and she still made me soup. It was amazing. She was like 98 or something at that time, 97, and she was still getting around. But yeah, I mean, I think you can see this in the videos that I've made. Her personality, right? It was so likable. Everyone liked Nana. I mean, I know she got into arguments, and I think there'd be some people that would disagree with me. They're not around anymore. She outlived everybody, right? But she was so likable, even though she had a fiery temper. She was very emotional, and she had a fire. I got that exact same personality from her. I think my fire came from her. Um, but she was liked by everybody. I've had friends for the past 20 years, more than that, stay with her. Like if they're in Scotland, they'd say, Graham, can be in Edinburgh for a night? Can I stay with your Nana? And she would put them up. Probably, I don't know, 10 friends, something like that, 10 people maybe over the years. But they all loved her, right? They would sit in the living room and have whiskey with her, and she would just tell stories. And I mean, her stories usually involved the war, right? She always gravitated back to World War II, because that was such a big part of her life, right? And she talked about that all the time when I was before I did this channel. I was gonna write a book, and I have like 100 recordings, interviews I could put up as audio files. But we talked for 2 solid years, and most of it was about the war and about growing up in the 1930s and 40s and stuff like that. So um, that was something she still thought about all the time. I mean, I would imagine something like that. You go through that, you survive. They would leave such a big impression on your life. I've never been in a war. I've never been in an army in combat. but I imagine being in that situation. Sorry, my voice is a bit hoarse. I'm a little bit hungover for the past couple of days. I've had not last night, but Saturday I had some whiskey to celebrate Nana's life. I thought it would be appropriate. So I'm still feeling the effects Monday morning. Luckily, I'm not teaching today, but so yeah, guys. I mean, I think I'm not as sad as I thought I was going to be, because I think about two things. One, that she lived such a long life, 100, almost 102. And nobody ever gets to be that age, right? So we should celebrate that. She had a long life. She had a great family and great husband. But she sort of lost everyone from her generation along the way. She was the last of her generation to make it, I think, right? I mean, in terms of like her friends in Edinburgh, they're all gone. Everyone her age. And also, I didn't want to see her suffer anymore. She was starting to lose it a little bit. I don't know if it was a little bit dementia setting in or something, but she was starting to forget things. And she really couldn't walk so much anymore. She couldn't cook for herself. My aunt was living with her. My aunt did, God's work with Nana the past year, staying with her. So, we should all thank my aunt for being with her and keeping her going, right? But I didn't want to see Nana suffer anymore. She was getting frustrated. She couldn't really leave the house. She was tired and she was sleeping all the time. And that's not really a quality of life that you want to have, right? So even though she's gone, and I really miss her, I had flights booked to go see her at Christmas, actually. I'm going to Edinburgh at Christmas. And she won't be there, right? So, I'm in great pain because I miss my friend. I miss my. Oh, that's the video I didn't want to make. I knew I'd have to make this video. I knew it was coming, right, when I started this channel. I knew it was gonna happen, but I don't want to make the video. I wasn't prepared for it. I haven't even shaved. But we need to celebrate, her life and even the people in your life that get to that age, celebrate your family and celebrate them. Enjoy the time you have with your family, because they're not going to be here forever, right? But she saw so much in her life. She's been through so much, right? That you can't ask more from life than that. 101 years, having a big family, like 4 great grandkids. Okay, I don't even have children. She has 4 great grandkids. It's amazing. And she got to spend time with them. She, not just like as little babies, but as 10, 11-year-old, 12-year-old little humans. She could talk to her great grandkids, right, about life and impart her wisdom onto them, right? So just amazing what she went through. And I think, again, you can see that in the videos. She was such a personable character. She's bigger than life, right? She really was. Just a great attitude towards life. Always singing. I used to hear her singing all the time. I would wake up and she would be in the kitchen making her egg, her hard-boiled egg she had every day. And she would be whistling or singing. She had a great singing voice, actually. So she was always happy, She had a passion for life, and I think that comes out in the videos, right, guys? So two things here. I want to thank you for the people who have watched the videos and encouraged me to make them, and people that, even in real life, people that have said to me, great job, documenting Nana. I really want to thank you for that. There's still time to make her famous. Share the videos with your friends. Introduce Nana to your friends. But I want to thank Nana for trusting me. I told her I'd make her famous. But the thing is, I was going to write a book about her, but I realized that making the videos would sort of sharpen her mind and keep her going a little bit, remembering things and talking about things, and that's sort of why I did it, because I wanted it to Well, I wanted to document this for history. 50 years from now, when I'm gone, my videos will still be here, right? And school children 50, 60 years from now can watch the videos and realize what it was like during World War II, what it was like during the 1930s, right? Things that I can't even comprehend. I wasn't around until 72, right? But I wanted to get her involved in something, and it took it took me a year. She still didn't know what YouTube was. She couldn't even pronounce it, right? Every time I talked to her, I'm like, Nana, today we're going to make another video. And obviously she would put the Scottish accent on tube to make it tube, YouTube, right? And so I had to use that accent when I'm like, Nana, we're doing a YouTube video. And she's like, what's YouTube? I said, Nana, we've made 15 videos. You know what it is. It's the video. So I ended up calling it the video. And she liked it. I don't know. She told me she liked it. She had a great time. Every time we finished the videos afterwards, I would do what I do with my students and have her reflect. How do you feel about what we've just done, And she would turn to me and say, this was great. This is brilliant. I love doing this. And I was bringing up some really tough memories, Her best friend, Alex Sharp, died in the Battle of Britain in 1939. His body was never recovered. He was shot down over the English Channel. I was bringing up tough memories. The death of my grandfather in the 80s, things like that. And she handled it like a champion. She would just plow right through, and you could talk to Nana about anything, okay? You could fight with Nana about anything. You could just bring something up. You're like, Nana, boom. Here's a topic. Let's fight about it. And she would love it. She would love to fight about anything. Her and I know we're great pals, okay? And on camera, you can see that we had good chemistry and we're great pals. But we had some blow-ups, okay? Like off camera, we just had some blow-ups. Full on going mental wars, right? Because we both have the same personality. There's a fire that I got from Nana, which some people like and some people don't like. Okay, I try and control it, but it's hard sometimes, right? I don't know if you call it Scottish blood. I don't want to blame it on my ethnicity because I love Scotland, but there's a passion there that Nana also had, right? And she would you could get her going, anything, right? So, obviously I'm not going to put that on camera, right? But she had a fire. I wonder how I wasn't around much, right? But I wonder how my granddad, who was so placid, so mellow, would deal with those flare-ups. I imagine them just going at it, right? This placid Englishman and this firebrand of a Scotswoman. Just arguing about whatever. I don't even know. I don't know what they would argue about, like dinner or something like that. I don't know. But it wasn't. It wasn't a bad anger. It was just a passion, And she would always calm down, and she would always apologize, or I would apologize to her if it was my fault, and we would just. It would take about 5 seconds, and it would be over. And I think she was like that with most people, But it was funny because not every time, but every, say, 3 or 4 years, I would go visit her. I'd visit her every year, but every couple of times I'd visit, not recently, but in the past, she had fallen out with one of her friends, Who was it this time, Nana? Who you mad at, right? And she would tell me a story, this person did this, There was always a bit of drama. And I think that kept Nana going. I think you've got to have passion in life, right? If you give up and you're bored or you're lonely or you're by yourself, you're introverted, you don't have friends, I think those are the people that slip away. But Nana was extroverted. She had a zest, passion for life, right? And a lot of friends that kept her going. So I think, and this is a shout out to all her friends at the rugby club as well, Sheena and Anne and Pat and Owen and all the girls down there, right? Janice, rest in peace, her friend she just lost a couple months ago. All the people, Mike, the president of the club that picked her up. Thank you so much for doing that. It meant a lot to her. So, we still have our memories. And listen, Nana will live on in the hearts of everyone that met her. You know, she was such a such a special person. So guys, thank you so much for bringing us into your lives. Really appreciate it. Nana really enjoyed doing the videos, and when I would tell her, you know, how many people watched them and things like that, she was really happy, right? She was really happy to tell her story about life and about what it was like, you know, growing up as a kid in Scotland, right, and as an adult. But I'm gonna end it here, okay, guys, because I'm a little bit shaky today, and I'm usually composed on camera, but I can't. This is the video I didn't want to make, you know. But thank you so much again, and you know, just one thing I would say to Nana is I'll miss you forever, you know. But you'll always be in my heart. So goodbye, Nana. I'll see you again.